Imagine the vast, unforgiving white expanse of Antarctica, a continent cloaked in an eternal, chilling silence. On November 28, 1979, this pristine wilderness became the tomb for Air New Zealand Flight 901. A sightseeing tour to the ends of the earth, it ended not in wonder, but in a catastrophic impact against the icy slopes of Mount Erebus. But what truly brought down 257 souls? Was it pilot error, or was it something far more sinister, hidden beneath miles of impenetrable ice? The journey began with palpable anticipation, a full DC-10 carrying passengers eager to witness the breathtaking grandeur of the Antarctic continent from the safety of their windows. At the controls were Captain Jim Collins and First Officer Greg Cassin, both experienced and capable pilots. Their route was meticulously planned, a scenic flyover of McMurdo Sound, passing near the iconic Mount Erebus. Yet somewhere in the pre-flight checks, an insidious error was introduced. The waypoint for the flight path, unknowingly to the crew, had been shifted by a mere 2 degrees, a seemingly minor alteration, yet one that would prove utterly devastating. As Flight 901 descended to 600 meters for optimal viewing, it flew into what is known as a sector whiteout. The world outside the cockpit became a blinding, featureless canvas of white. Snow, sky, and ice merged into a single, indistinguishable void. Without any visual cues, the crew relied entirely on their instruments, but those instruments were now guiding them not through the safe center of McMurdo Sound, but directly into the path of a 3,794-meter-high active volcano, Mount Erebus. The ground proximity warning system screamed to life, a desperate electronic shriek in the final moments. It was too late. There was no time to react. The silence that followed the impact was profound, absolute. The initial investigation, swift and conclusive, pointed directly at the pilots. Controlled flight into terrain, they declared. A simple case of pilot error. The matter was officially closed. But for the grieving families, and for the resolute Chief Inspector of Accidents, Justice Peter Mahon, this explanation felt incomplete, too neat. Mahon, a man of unwavering integrity, began to uncover a different, more disturbing story, one of bureaucratic failures and deliberate obfuscation. He discovered that the original flight plan, programmed years earlier, had safely traversed McMurdo Sound. The revised coordinates, the ones that steered Flight 901 towards Erebus, had been secretly entered into the airline's ground computer just hours before the fateful flight, without the pilot's knowledge or consent. This crucial, fatal change was never communicated to the crew. Mahon's findings sparked outrage. He famously accused the airline of perpetuating an orchestrated litany of lies, a systemic attempt to shift all blame onto the deceased pilots and absolve the corporation. His report was damning, exposing a culture of profound negligence and calculated deceit. Yet despite his meticulous and courageous investigation, his findings were ultimately overturned by the New Zealand Court of Appeal, which reinstated the pilot error verdict. The official narrative stood firm, but the shadows of doubt remained, growing longer and colder with each passing year. Whispers began to circulate. Why the cover-up? What was so important about that specific location that it demanded such a desperate concealment of the truth? The tragedy of Flight 901 lingers like a cold breath on the neck. 257 lives extinguished, their final moments a terrifying collision with an icy behemoth. The official explanation feels hollow to many, leaving a void now filled with uneasy speculation. Was it truly just a tragic sequence of human errors, or did the vast, desolate power of Antarctica and the secrets it holds claim another victim? The question echoes in the glacial silence, an unanswered plea rising from the frozen depths. The truth, as Justice Mahon so bravely discovered, was deliberately obscured, but even his valiant fight couldn't fully penetrate the veil. The image of that plane hurtling towards an unseen mountain in a world of blinding white is a stark reminder of our fragility against nature's might, and perhaps against something more. What if the true horror lies not just in human error, but in the cold indifference of an ancient, powerful place that guards its mysteries with icy resolve? The secrets of Erebus and of Antarctica may forever remain entombed beneath the ice, a chilling monument to Flight 901. If you survive this chilling dive into one of history's most disturbing aviation mysteries, then hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more explorations into the abyss. And tell us, what do you think truly happened on Flight 901? Was it merely pilot error, or does Antarctica hold a darker secret?